Well, I guess you can stand with us too. Oh, sorry.
Your hot mic.
A lot of things can happen with hot mics.
Good afternoon. Welcome. There's some chairs. I'm Barbara Gittenstein. I'm president of the College of New Jersey, and it's such a pleasure to welcome you and to thank you for being here to mark this very special occasion for the TCNJ community. Today we gather to celebrate the opening of the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics, or STEM building, which serves as the anchor for TCNJ's STEM complex and the chemistry addition, and houses a multidisciplinary super laboratory suite. This 115,000 square foot addition to our campus was made possible by an unprecedented investment from the state, including $40 million from the Building Our Future Bond Act and $6 million from the Higher Education Facilities Trust Fund. I would like to welcome and thank Governor Christie for being here today. We would not be celebrating this occasion had it not been for your leadership and for the bipartisan support of the state legislature and the citizens of New Jersey. On behalf of the TCNJ community, thank you. We look forward to hearing from you in a moment. Also joining us today are Assemblywoman Liz Moya, Senators Linda Greenstein and Shirley Turner, Assemblyman Wayne D'Angelo, Deputy Secretary of Higher Education Greg Edwards, Ewing Mayor Bert Steinman, Ewing Councilwoman Jennifer Kays Maloney, and Mercer County Executive Brian Hughes. I'm also pleased to introduce the following members of the college's Board of Trustees: Chair George Calbiero, whom you will hear later, Robert Altman, Skip Cimino, Eleanor Horn, Miles Powell, and student trustee Priscilla Nunez. Carl Gibbs as well. Looking at you and realizing I didn't say your name. In addition, we welcome the members of TCNJ's Foundation and Alumni Association boards. Thank you all for your continued support. The facilities where we stand today will help the college prepare a new generation of TCNJ graduates for the demands of the STEM economy. And our students are well worth this important investment. To give you a sense of the caliber of TCNJ students' work, let me give you some examples. In the last year, 4 School of Science seniors were awarded graduate research fellowships from the National Science Foundation. Other students competed in national level competitions and presented at national conferences, including the Technology and Engineering Educational Collegiate Association, the Society of Automotive Engineers Mini Baja Competition, the Northeast Bioengineering Conference, and the National Technology and Engineering Education Collegiate Association Conference. Investment in the success of such outstanding students and the programs in which they study will boost TCNJ's capacity to prepare individuals for the state's critically important health science pipeline, as well as the broader STEM needs of the knowledge economy. While these students are talented and motivated, they don't succeed alone. The faculty are nationally recognized teacher scholars. In fact, last year, the National Academy of Sciences released a major report on undergraduate research. TCNJ was the only institution featured in a standalone case student presentation at the June 2nd, 2017 national launch of that report in Washington, D.C. And then just yesterday, the Chronicle of Higher Education published an article in which TCNJ's undergraduate research programs were highlighted. Quite remarkable. I hope you will take time today to tour these buildings and see firsthand the Biomedical Engineering Research Suite, the robotics laboratory, the organic chemistry laboratory suite, and all of the other state-of-the-art spaces. I know you will be as impressed as I am with their design to support powerful learning experiences for faculty and students alike. Now it is my great pleasure to introduce Governor Christie. Governor Christie.
It's great to be back here at TCNJ. I want to thank Bobby not only for her introduction and her remarks, but for her extraordinary years of service as president of this institution. She has led this institution not only through a period of great growth and distinction, but she has become the face of TCNJ. And while I'm happy that we'll be leaving together, I'm sorry that she's leaving at all. And Bobby, congratulations on an extraordinary career here at TCNJ. I want to thank the members of the state legislature who are here for their support of the Building Our Future Bond Act. It was an idea that the Senate President and I felt very strongly about advocating for, not only with our fellow folks in government, but also with the citizens of New Jersey. And I'm very proud of the fact that we are the first government in over 25 years to invest in our state colleges and universities. And in the decades to come, students in New Jersey and their families will benefit from everything that you're seeing here at TCNJ and at our colleges and universities across this state. This is so important to be able to invest and grow our colleges and universities so our students have the opportunity to stay here at home, not have to leave the state. That brain drain is something that New Jersey really can't afford, especially in this technological economy that's becoming more and more reliant upon the STEM education that you see reflected in this $75 million STEM complex. This is the kind of thing that I envisioned when we were doing the kind of huge investment. But this is an investment in New Jersey's future. This program together put $1.3 billion of state money to work in partnership with our colleges and universities and their private donors and their students and their families. We put $46 million towards a $75 million complex. That means almost $30 million is also coming from TCNJ and from their ability to be able to raise funds and borrow and to be partners with us. That's really important, to have partnership and buy-in so that the facilities that are built are something that the university, the college also has a stake in. And they have skin in the game, and that's really important. 89,000 square foot state-of-the-art facility. This is something that students at TCNJ are going to be benefiting from in all different types of disciplines. The Department of Biomedical Engineering, Computer Science, Mechanical Engineering, all of this is extraordinarily important. And Bobby talked to you about the different labs and opportunities that now will be right at their fingertips. There's no reason for a student who loves this place to consider going anyplace else. They can be here at TCNJ, get an extraordinary education, and not have to worry about whether they're also being taught by some of the best faculty in the country with some of the best infrastructure in the country. Our investment in all of this makes that possible, whether it's the robotics lab or the computing cluster, whether it's the biomedical engineering research suite or the mechanical engineering design studio. All those places now have state-of-the-art equipment and facilities to be able to have our students learn with the very best that our country has to offer. You know, in joining this STEM building with the existing biology building, I think was a real stroke of genius by the college. This allows those two disciplines to join together, and that's what we need, is to make sure that we don't get siloed in our colleges and universities, but we have people being able to learn from all of the different disciplines and the wisdom that we have recruited here in a great faculty at TCNJ. That's all very important as well. And it's preparing our undergraduates now with the skills and the knowledge they're going to need in the health sciences program as we move forward as a country in trying to continue to come up with more solutions to the ailments and diseases that afflict our population here in our country and around the world. We also know from an economic perspective that more than 11% job growth will happen in the STEM occupations alone by 2025. If we put our children and our young people in the position to have the skills they need, they're going to be able to get a great paying job, which will help them to support their family moving forward. All of that is extraordinarily important. And in the end, New Jersey has always been known as a place where technology in the health sciences area is something that we thrive in. Whether it was being known and still being known as the medicine chest of the world, where you look at the biopharma companies that are growing up all across America, so many of the best ones are right here in our state. And as we compete now for the HQ2 project for Amazon, one of the things I could tell you that we're finding that New Jersey is best positioned for that competition to do is to compete in terms of human resources. We have among the best educated populaces in the country. And part of our pitch to Amazon is going to be the extraordinary higher education community we have in this state, and the investment the state has made over the last 4 years in technology in particular, to be able to train our students and to create a workforce going forward 2 decades for Amazon in terms of their ability to recruit the kind of people they'll need to continue to move that company forward. When we do these investments, when we talked about it in 2013, when we did groundbreakings in 2014 and 15, we said that this would make us competitive for the next set of jobs. We don't know what they're going to be. But now we know at least one of them is Amazon, and I can tell you for sure that facilities like this one here and others that we've built at our other campuses across the state has made us more competitive. I can't predict whether we'll win that competition or not, but I can tell you that we will have a very good chance of it, in part because of what we're doing here today and what that represents. Lastly, I want to thank the students and the faculty of TCNJ. Bobby mentioned a couple of things in her introduction that are just further examples of how proud we are of TCNJ and why we're so proud. We have a faculty who is being recognized across the country as outstanding in their individual disciplines, and each and every year TCNJ is becoming more and more difficult to gain admission to. Each and every year you have more and more diverse students from all types of disciplines, from all types of backgrounds, who want to come here to this beautiful campus because of the investments that this group of administration and faculty, along with their partners at the state, have made in this institution. That's great for New Jersey's future. And attracting more people here and not sending our best people away, that will continue to make New Jersey an economic powerhouse as we move forward. And so I want to end where I started. None of this is possible without leadership, and leadership that you believe in. I remember back 8 years ago, almost now, going to meet with the Council of College and University Presidents as a newly elected governor in 2009. And them talking to me most desperately at that meeting, and Bobby was at that meeting, about the need to have investment in capital projects at our colleges and universities. And I told them then that 2009, 2010 looked a little tight in terms of our ability to be able to do something like that, but give me a little bit of time. And I told them that before the end of my first term, I was really hopeful that we would be able to make that kind of significant investment. They showed confidence in me by, instead of coming out of that meeting and attacking and saying, well, the new governor said no to us again, they gave me a little bit of room. And with that room, I was able to convince some in the legislature who were reluctant and the people of New Jersey to make this investment. And I'm proud that we were able to do that. That's the leadership that a governor is supposed to provide, but just as importantly, it's the leadership that was provided by the men and women who are leading our colleges and universities, to understand the various pressures that are on government in terms of resources, but to advocate strongly for what they believe is in the best interest of their institutions and the students that they are caring for and educating every day. Bobby was one of those people who was one of the strongest voices and most effective voices in making that case to me. And we are here today not only because of the leadership that state government collectively provided to get us here, but even more importantly, by having good and wise people in charge of our state colleges and universities. That serves our state extraordinarily well, not just today, but in all the years to come. So pick wisely when you're, when you are getting ready to, you know, replace a legend. Now I don't want to jinx the next president, but it does strike me the old phrase from the NFL, you know, that you don't want to be the guy who replaces Lombardi. You want to be the guy who replaces the guy who replaced Lombardi. I hope that won't be the case at TCNJ, but TCNJ is losing their own Lombardi. Somebody who has created a culture of excellence at this institution. So pick wisely as you move forward with that leadership, because the selections you make, I think, will in large measure determine the direction of this institution. This president has placed it on an extraordinary course, and I hope that you all be able to continue it. I'll be watching. Thank you all for being here today.
Well, thank you so much, Governor, and thank you for your leadership in supporting higher education. I do want to say I have full confidence in the committee that they will have no trouble finding a spectacular new 16th president of the College of New Jersey. And it is because not of what I have done, but what you have done, because that's what they will be coming to join. It's now my pleasure to introduce the chairman of TCNJ's Board of Trustees, George Caballero. George?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, President Gittenseen. I am absolutely thrilled to be here this afternoon with you to mark this very, very special occasion. And before I go any further, although he had to leave us, I just want to say on behalf of the entire Board of Trustees, a very special thank you to Governor Christie for being here, for his remarks, for his ongoing support of TCNJ and higher education. It means a lot to us. The Board of Trustees takes very seriously its responsibility to provide students, faculties, and staff with the facilities necessary to support the powerful learning that our mission and its strategic aspirations require. This STEM complex is a key part of delivering on that mission. These facilities provide cross-disciplinary spaces that offer faculty and students new and rich opportunities for exploration, knowledge and skill development, and research. The critical capital investment made possible by the Building Our Future bond enables us to better serve the needs of our state, its students, and our business communities. And we are truly grateful for the bipartisan support that made this possible, and also thankful to the citizens of New Jersey for supporting this investment. We are proud of our public service mandate to educate leaders of New Jersey and are steadfast in our commitment to the citizens of the state. Thank you again for joining us. I hope you will take an opportunity to go through the building. It's really an incredible facility. And it is now my pleasure to introduce Student Government President Christopher Blakely. Chris.
First, I'd like to start off by thanking everyone for allowing me to speak before you today. As an engineering student, I know I speak on behalf of all of my colleagues when I say that I'm super excited, and we all are super excited, to have this new facility for the addition of new technology and space to become innovative engineers and scientists. These new facilities not only allow for the departments within the schools of engineering and science to grow, but the growth within the TCNJ community and the state of New Jersey. TCNJ's student government was proud to take part in the campaign for the Building Our Future Bonds Act that made these facilities we're celebrating today possible. We worked alongside business leaders, labor leaders, and elected officials on both sides of the aisle to advocate for this important investment in New Jersey's colleges and universities. We are proud of the contributions students made to this effort, and I am proud to be here today with Governor Christie, who signed the legislation making the Building Our Future Bond Act possible. On behalf of TCNJ's student body, thank you so much for your leadership and support of the College of New Jersey. And now I'd like to turn the podium back over to President Gittenstein.
Thank you so much, Chris and George, for your remarks. At this time, I'd like to invite you to join us at the entrance of the STEM building for the ceremonial ribbon cutting, followed by light refreshments and self-guided tours of this extraordinary building. And again, thank you so much for joining us. And whoever was in charge of weather, good job.